Hi there, and welcome to Otterly Build's Penguin Pals Division. Here, we have one goal and one goal only: pleased penguins. We accomplish this by building on 4 strong pillars: a determined team, a unified vision, measurable outcomes, and of course, a bit of luck. Now, as you can imagine, we're quite busy here, but we do have some time to share our story with you and how our story fits into the much bigger story of penguins. Our story starts many nanoseconds ago, not long after I thought of the idea for this video. I was toiling away trying to launch a construction company dedicated to wildlife conservation. But despite hours and hours of work, I wasn't getting very far. As a matter of fact, I had nothing to show for it. But my friends, this is a story about how a situation became so hopeless, it circled all the way back around to hopeful. Is that going to be the last take? Oh yeah, we're done. There were 2 main reasons that we were failing. Number 1, our main competitor, Robert T. Builder and Associates, really knew what they were doing. And number 2, we really didn't know what we were doing. Luckily, that's exactly what the penguins needed. You see, we work with a special type of penguin, African penguins. These penguins come from a warmer climate than their stereotypical Antarctic cousins. This does mean that those penguins in Africa are at risk of overheating. The water itself is pretty cold, but when they're nesting on land, it can get toasty real fast. Luckily for those penguins, they had an ace up their sock: guano. Guano is just a fancy name for penguin poop. And as it turns out, penguin poop is a great material to build a nest out of. The penguins build burrows in their guano that help keep them and their eggs at a safe and healthy temperature while protecting them from other elements on the outside. But unfortunately, this isn't where the story ends. In the 1800s, us humans began to realize that guano makes really good fertilizer, and we started to mine it from places like the rocky islands that African penguins call home. Now, this problem did extend beyond just penguins, but it certainly impacted those birds because their main nesting material was gone. All of a sudden, it was much tougher to regulate their temperature when nesting on land. And as you can imagine, as climate change is occurring, this problem is just getting worse. Since then, the penguin population has plummeted, and they are at risk of extinction. So to sum things up, the penguins, they don't have enough crap. And us, we're great at making crap. Seems like a pretty obvious match to me. Excuse me, I'm getting a phone call. Hello? Uh-huh. Yeah. Huh? Yeah. No, that sounds great, thank you. Sure. Yeah. Uh-huh. Awesome. All right, thank you so much. Talk soon. All right, bye. I'm being told it's not that simple. We may have just gone all the way back around to hopeless. So here's what I'm putting together. The actual experts are using these things called nest boxes to help the birds out. These are ceramic huts that are meant to serve as a promising place to protect penguins from potentially perilous elements. Basically, they're an artificial guano burrow that helps these birds out. And unlike my approach to things, these nest boxes weren't just thrown together. There was a lot of thought and testing that went into them. They were even tested at zoos to figure out which design was best for penguins and their health. And while yes, they are still a fairly new initiative and they are still dialing in the specifics, early results are promising. In one particular case, the temperature on the ground outside of the box was 124 degrees. But inside the box, the temperature was only 73 degrees. That's a massive difference. But it is important to note that this isn't going to solve all of the penguins' problems. They are still facing threats from overfishing, climate change, and other factors as well. Regardless, this story does provide me with a sense of hope. It shows that us humans can use our innovative spirit for some really good things and to help us undo some mistakes of the past. Sure, we should strive not to make those mistakes in the future, but while we're at it, why don't we fix the ones we've already made? And it is with that spirit of not making mistakes in the future, that I am happy to announce that Otterly Build's Penguin Pals division is closing down forever.